Hi, this is Dan from Appland. I'm going to demonstrate how to identify the N+1 query anti-pattern using the AppMap extension for Visual Studio Code, JQ, and the Rails sample application as an example. The N+1 anti-pattern happens when a query is executed for every result of a previous query. If left unchecked, N+1 queries result in the gradual slowdown in the performance of an application. Detecting N+1 queries is tricky, because they are not revealed by any mainstream testing strategy. To detect the N+1 problem, we need to look at the number of database queries that are performed in a realistic situation, such as an integration test, and compare that number with a reasonable expectation. Here's the code for the Rails sample application, a Twitter clone developed as a reference implementation by Michael Hartle. First, I'll configure my project to use AppMap to record the behavior of the application when I run tests. AppMap works by recording the code execution paths of an app. A good way to create app maps is by recording unit, functional, or integration test cases. I add the AppMap gem to the gem file and run bundle to install. I'm using Minitest, so I require AppMap Minitest in testhelper.rb. Then I create an appmap.yml configuration file and define the code packages I want to instrument. Now I'm ready to record an AppMap. Here I have an integration test for the micropost interface. I run the test with the AppMap environment variable set to true. The test runs, AppMap creates a recording and stores it in the temp directory. In the left sidebar of the AppMap recording, I can see the routes, packages, classes, and functions that are exercised as part of the test, as well as the SQL queries. Looking at the trace view, I can see that the GET requests are large, each containing over 100 child nodes. Highlighting one of the GET requests displays details in the left sidebar. I see two SQL queries repeating with suspiciously high frequency, one selecting users and one selecting attachments. AppMap recordings are stored in JSON format, so using JQ, I can run a query against the AppMap and get an exact count. 382 queries. That seems high, especially when compared to the other tests. For comparison, I run another integration test and count the queries. 11. Stepping through the trace of a GET request, I find that it includes a SQL query to fetch a page of microposts. The number of queries to fetch the data is not 1, as we would expect. Rather, it's 1 to fetch the page of microposts, plus an additional n queries for the users, for a total of N+1. In this case, there are an additional n queries for the user attachments, so the total is actually 2n+1, which is even worse. I'm going to need to fix this in the user model, where a status feed is associated to a user. We can use ActiveRecord's eager loading capability to create an underlying SQL query for microposts that includes the associated user and any attachments. I do this, rerun the test, and count up the queries with JQ to confirm the fix. 208 total queries, down from 382, a big improvement. I return to the trace view to find more opportunities to consolidate queries. To give us feedback, visit us in Discord or find us on Twitter at Land of Apps, all one word. You can find full usage instructions and all these links on the AppMap page in the Visual Studio Code Marketplace. And you can find more information about Appland along with more videos at appland.com. Thanks for watching.